All right, so today we're going to be diving deep into something pretty huge, the future of sales.
Definitely the future.
And not just like, those little incremental changes you see like year after year.
Right.
We're talking like a full-blown AI revolution.
Yeah.
The kind that could totally change like how we think about sales, like the whole game.
Totally.
So to help us break this down, we're going to be going deep on the work of Eddie Boscana.
Okay.
Now, Eddie is an AI developer who's not just, building the future of AI, but he really wants to make sure that it's accessible to everyone, not just, the big tech giants.
And that's what's so fascinating about Eddie is that he's not stopping at making AI accessible, like you're saying. He's got his eyes on something way bigger, artificial general intelligence, AGI.
AGI. Now, that's the big one, right? That's AI that can actually, like, think for itself.
Exactly. And Eddie's projects, Eden and Eden Connect, are all about making that a reality. But before we get too far into the future and, those big sci-fi possibilities of it all. Yeah. Let's bring it back down to earth for a second.
Yeah, let's focus on what's happening now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So Eddie's teamed up with sales strategist Marlon Maresia, and they're kind of on this mission to completely transform businesses by thinking of websites as 2,047 salespeople.
Okay, now that's an idea I can definitely get behind. I mean, seriously, who hasn't gone to a website and immediately hit that back button?
Oh, yeah.
Because it's like clunky and confusing or just like a terrible looking website.
Yeah,
it's like some businesses just don't even want your money. It's crazy.
It's true. And Marlon's whole philosophy is centered on this idea that in the digital age, your website is very often like that crucial first impression.
Absolutely.
And the last thing you want is for like a potential customer to get lost in the weeds or whatever you want to call it. Just
lost in the sauce.
Lost in the sauce, exactly. He's all about removing those distractions, making that whole user experience so smooth and intuitive that customers are guided towards, actually buying something without ever feeling like they're being pressured.
Yeah. Okay, I love it. So we've got Eddie with the AI expertise and Marlon with that sales genius. And the best part is they're not keeping it to themselves. They're bringing it all together.
Right.
To create these AI systems that can basically handle the entire customer journey from like the very first moment someone stumbles across your website to, nurturing that lead, closing the deal, even providing customer service after the sale.
Yeah.
We're talking about AI that works around the clock so you don't have to.
And this is where things get really, really cool.
Yeah.
Because we're not talking about like, basic automation here.
Right.
This is AI that can actually personalize the customer experience at a scale we've never seen before. I mean, imagine, if you will, your website dynamically changing product recommendations. And not just, based on browsing history, but things like where they are, the weather even.
Wow.
Or how about AI that can use dynamic pricing to give every single customer the absolute best deal right at the exact moment that they're most likely to buy?
Okay, that's some serious, like, Minority Report stuff right there.
I know, right?
That's wild, but I mean, is this just like a futuristic fantasy?
Right.
Or is this something businesses can actually use like right now?
It's happening right now. Eddie and Marlon are offering AI-first web development, custom AI for sales automation and even enterprise-level AI integration. Like, as we speak, it's already happening.
And I gotta ask, when you say enterprise level, I mean, that kind of sounds like this is only for those like huge companies, the ones with like tons of money.
That's the misconception that Eddie and Marlon are fighting against, because they really believe in making AI available to everybody, businesses of all sizes.
Okay.
So their services start at $3,000 for high-impact projects. So it's not just about, giving the Fortune 500 an edge. It's about giving that same power to everybody.
No, that's what I'm talking about, leveling the playing field so everyone has a fair shot.
Exactly.
But I think we got to unpack what these solutions actually look like, in the real world.
Yeah, for sure.
For example, what does AI-first web development actually even mean? Is that just like a fancy way of saying a really good website?
Well, not exactly. It's more about building your entire online presence, from the ground up, but with AI as like the foundation.
Okay.
It's like thinking of your website not as a digital brochure, but as this like intelligent, constantly evolving thing that learns from every visitor, every click, all of it.
So you're saying it's more than just a storefront.
Oh, way more.
It's like your sales team, your market research department, even your customer service center, all wrapped up in one website.
You got it.
Yeah.
And we're just getting started. We haven't even touched on custom AI for sales automation.
Whoa, hold on a second before we go any further.
Okay,
I
yeah.
think we need to break some of this down for our listeners, make sure everyone's on the same page.
Right, that's fair.
Let's start with that custom AI for sales automation. What does that actually look like, in action?
Okay, so picture this, a potential customer. They land on your website, right?
Okay.
And they're greeted by a chatbot.
Right.
But not like those super clunky ones,
Yeah.
Like the ones that make you feel like you're talking to a robot, like some telemarketer from the Stone Age.
Exactly.
This is a chatbot, but it's powered by sophisticated AI.
Hmm.
So it can answer questions like a real person, can qualify leads, even book appointments, and the whole time it sounds totally natural and on brand.
Okay, now you're speaking my language. Anything that saves me from those endless email chains and phone tag, I am here for it.
Great.
But I gotta ask, how does the custom part actually work? Can these AI systems really adapt to different businesses and industries? I mean, how specific can it get?
That is the beauty of this whole thing. It's not like a one-size-fits-all approach.
Yeah.
This is about creating solutions that are literally tailor-made
Okay.
for your business and whatever challenges you're facing in your industry. It's about training that AI on your products, your services, all of your customer data, so it can operate with that same nuance and precision as, like a top-tier salesperson.
So it's like having a dedicated sales team working for you 24/7, but without having to, deal with payroll and all the HR stuff.
You got it.
Sign me up. Okay, but we can't forget about the other big one you mentioned, that enterprise level AI integration thing. What does that even mean for someone who doesn't speak fluent tech jargon?
Yeah, it sounds way more intimidating than it actually is.
Yeah.
It's basically just connecting all those different systems you're already using.
Okay.
So think CRM, your email marketing, your website analytics, all of them talking to each other seamlessly,
Yeah.
all powered by AI.
Okay.
Instead of having all this data in these separate silos and running like disjointed campaigns, you got this unified picture of your customer's entire journey,
Right.
which means you can optimize every single touch point for maximum impact.
Okay. I can see how that would be a game changer for any business, big or small. I mean, it's like having this 360-degree view of your customers and what they need. But let's get down to brass tacks here. How can AI actually help close more deals? We talked about personalization, but what about things like generating leads and then nurturing them? Can AI really replace good old-fashioned human interaction in those areas?
It's not about replacing human interaction. It's more like AI becomes this secret weapon to help you identify and engage with your best leads.
Okay.
Think about it. AI could analyze your website traffic in real time and pick out those visitors who are showing signs that they're ready to buy.
Okay.
Maybe they've gone to your pricing page like a bunch of times, or they're spending way more time reading those customer testimonials than the average bear.
Interesting.
AI can then use that info to trigger like personalized messages, maybe special offers, or even connect them with a real live salesperson at just the right moment to close that deal.
So instead of just casting a wide net and hoping for the best, you're using AI to zero in on those leads that are most likely to convert. That's like having a sixth sense for sales.
Exactly.
But it's more than just closing the deal, right? AI can help with engagement after the sale too, right? And keeping those customers coming back for more.
You know it. Remember, the name of the game is creating a seamless experience for every customer, from their first interaction all the way through to repeat business. AI can analyze your data to figure out who's likely to jump ship and then reach out to them proactively with an offer or just the right kind of support to keep them happy.
Wow.
It's about building a lasting relationship with each customer, making them feel valued and understood even after that initial purchase.
So we're talking about building a loyal customer base, not just making a quick buck. Okay, that's something every business owner can get behind. But let's be real for a second. This all sounds amazing, but I know there are people out there hearing AI revolution, and they're immediately thinking, job killer. What do you say to those folks who are worried that AI is going to take their job?
Listen, it's a valid concern, and we have to acknowledge that whenever a truly game-changing technology comes along, it's going to shake things up in the job market.
Sure.
But here's the key. AI is not about replacing humans entirely. It's about giving us superpowers and freeing us up to focus on what we humans do best.
Okay, I like where you're going with this.
So instead of spending hours upon hours on boring tasks like entering data or scheduling meetings, AI lets us focus on those higher level tasks that require things like creativity and critical thinking and emotional intelligence.
Yeah.
The things that AI just can't replicate.
So it's not man versus machine. It's more like man with machine, each one playing to their strengths.
Bingo.
Yeah.
It's about working smarter, not harder. And let's not forget, the rise of AI is also creating a whole new category of
Hmm.
jobs.
Yeah,
We're going to need talented people to design these systems, develop them, implement them, manage them.
that's a really good point.
So yeah, some jobs might change or even disappear completely, but a whole bunch of new opportunities are going to pop up to take their place.
It's like they say, right? The future's already here. It's just not evenly distributed yet.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
But it seems like with what Eddie and Marlon are doing, that future is becoming more and more accessible every day.
That's exactly what's so exciting about all of this.
Yeah.
And speaking of exciting, there's this whole other layer to this we haven't even touched on yet.
Oh,
Yeah, it goes back to Eddie's work with AGI, those Eden and Eden Connect projects that we mentioned before.
right. The whole idea is to make AGI, artificial general intelligence, available to everyone, not just a select few.
Exactly.
Which is incredible when you think about it.
It really is.
But it's one thing to say it, another thing to actually do it. So how does it all connect back to what we were talking about with AI and sales?
Well, what if I told you that Eddie sees AGI as just a stepping stone to something even bigger?
Okay, now you've got my attention.
He believes that this technology has the power to completely change not just, how we do business, but our entire understanding of, well, intelligence itself.
Okay, so we're not just talking about like AI that can write a catchy jingle or compose a symphony.
No, no, no. Think bigger.
Okay.
Eddie's talking about AI that could actually have a deeper level of creativity and problem-solving skills that are as good as or even better than humans. Yeah, think about it. AI that doesn't just, analyze data, but really understands context and nuance, even emotions. AI
Yeah.
that comes up with solutions to problems we haven't even thought of yet.
Now that's some next level stuff right there. It's both exciting and a little scary to imagine.
For sure.
But if we can actually harness that kind of power for good, I mean, the possibilities are endless.
Exactly. That's what Eddie's all about. He's not just trying to build some super powerful AI. He wants to build it responsibly.
I like it.
He's picturing a future where AGI helps us solve those huge problems. The ones we all worry about, like climate change and finding cures for diseases. And he's doing it all in a way that's transparent and open and accessible to everyone.
So he's taking away the fear surrounding AI and making people feel hopeful instead.
Exactly.
Okay, but I think we need to bring it back down to earth for our listeners for a minute. What does all of this mean for someone who's running a business right now?
It means we're at a turning point in how we live and work. All of the tools and technologies we talked about today, that's just the beginning. As AI gets more and more advanced, it's going to completely transform every single industry you can think of.
Wow.
And the businesses that embrace this change. The ones willing to try new things and adapt and learn, those are the ones that are going to succeed in this new world.
So it's not even about trying to keep up with the competition anymore. It's about realizing that AI isn't some scary thing that's going to take over the world. It's a powerful tool that can help us do amazing things.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Well, if there's one thing we've learned today, it's that the future of sales, and honestly, the future in general, belongs to those who are brave enough to embrace AI. So if you're as excited about all of this as we are, then be sure to check out Eddie Boscama's website and explore the amazing work of Marlon Maressia. And until next time, keep those minds open and those algorithms humming.